with this is just going over the IO. The actual procedure itself is very similar to your tibial IO, so if you're comfortable with that one, then this one shouldn't be that big of a deal. The biggest difference is finding the actual site itself. So this is, to me, a little more difficult than finding the tibial IO site, but what you're going to do, the first thing, you've got to take their arm. You want to make sure that that hand is face down, right? And then you're going to put it across the chest like you see right here. That's very important, because right here, along this little sulcus right here, there is a tendon, and we've got to move that tendon out of the way. We don't want it over here or anything. We don't want to drill into it, where if this arm is out like that, you could accidentally drill into that, and that causes a whole world of problems. We don't want to do that. So what we're going to do, we can't, we don't have a little deltoid cap we can take off. So we're going to put their arm in the proper position. We're going to instruct them to hold it, or we're going to hold it there for them. We're going to take on the slightly anterior side of medial of the arm. We're going to come find that bone, and we're going to come up the humerus, and we're going to push up. And if they're kind of fluffy, you may have to push kind of hard. And what we're looking for is this right here, this little indention. All right, and so you find that indention, you know it's there because you can feel all the way around it, and it's like a little prominence there. All right, so we find that site, and that's where we want to drill. So once we have gone in, we found that site, we're going to take it, of course, we're going to cleanse it with alcohol, inward and outward circles, let it dry. With iodine, you can swab back and forth, it does not matter. All right, we want to make sure we've got all our stuff prepped, so we're going to have our 10 cc syringe, open it up, our proper saline lock. We're going to flush it, usually about 3 cc's or so here to flush it. Oh, that had some real one in it. All right, we're going to have, if you want to aspirate, you're going to have your syringe to aspirate. If not, you'll just have your regular flush. You'll have your safety cap for your needle lock. You're going to have your securing device. You'll want to have your little band to alert that there is one of these on there. And you'll want to have some roll galls or a sling and swab or something, because you're going to have to secure this arm once you get it in there. Because if you don't, if you raise that arm up with the IO, because it's going to be about right here on a real person, okay? So if you raise that arm up, that acromion process in the shoulder will hook on the edge of that IO, and it will pop it straight out of there. It'll lever it right out like a little fulcrum. So we don't want that. So make sure that you have something to secure it. Did somebody say something? So for this, for the IO needle, you should have a selection of different needle sizes. It really just depends on the size of the person, but what's super, super important is on these needles, let me see if I can get in where you can see. See those black lines there? All right, you're going to want to actually put your needle on after your area has dried. You're going to put this, and you're going to just push in like that. Just push in until you meet the bone, okay? And then we're going to look and see, ooh, too low, there we go. Do we have any black lines? Let that adjust out, there we go. You see 2 black lines above it. So as long as we have at least 1 black line above the skin, this needle's big enough to reach the medullary cavity and get where we need it to go. If it does not have any black lines showing, this needle is not big enough. We need to pull out and try a different needle. The reason you do it like this is because you haven't drilled yet. It's still safe to change needles if you need to. All right, but most people, the standard adult's gonna work just fine. We've got it in, we've got black lines, now we're gonna drill. All right, most people, it's not gonna take a lot of pressure. You feel it in when you feel that pop or that lack of resistance. I'm gonna take this off. We're gonna unscrew this, we're gonna put that in our sharps container. If you want to aspirate, this would be the time that you aspirate. You hook it up, you suction out. Do not push it back in though, because then it becomes a potential embolus. We don't want to do that. So if you aspirate, set it to the side. We're going to take our INT or saline lock. We're going to flush for placement and making a little pocket there for the fluids. Now feel around the site as you are doing this. If you are not in the right area, you may feel some swelling around the skin. All right. Once you've got that in, and I actually, this one will fit over it. All right, put that over it. We're going to take our nice, clean, prepared line, clean that, insert it, open it up, we're good. Now at this point, you have the option in some areas, depending on where you are, you can actually flush with lidocaine, because the pressure associated with the fluid bolus is going to be very painful. So if you want to do that, you could do that before you hook up your fluids, give them the appropriate amount of lidocaine per your protocols. And if not, if you're not allowed to do that or you can't do that, then just don't do that. All right, but you got your fluids set up. Now we are going to secure this down. We've got our fluids at the appropriate rate. Now you're actually going to want to take and you're going to want to secure that arm, which don't have a full body here, but you're just going to want to secure this with a sling and swab, however you can best do it, triangle bandage, whatever you need to secure this arm in that position so that it does not move and accidentally pull this out. Then once you got that done, you're going to take your little bandage or your little band. You can put the date and the time on here, and you're going to put this on their wrist. So just, it's like a little fair bracelet. You just put it on. There you go. Same thing you do on the leg. Just put on the instead of the ankle, you put it on the wrist. And that's it. Any questions on that? Did it get a little better? I tried to move a little slower. Okay. And if not, we should have this video. Hopefully it'll record, it's recording properly, and we'll see about uploading the video to y'all have access as well. But it's pretty straightforward. The biggest thing is just to make sure that this arm is rotated, the hand's prone, rotated to the body, so that you move the bone and all the tendons and ligaments out of the way, and it's in the proper location right here. And as you're coming up, you find it, you find that process, and it's going to be like, on me, it would be right here. This is where you would drill. So it's actually a little bit more anterior than it seems like it would be.
Jessica? On the arm, so are you, I'm looking at the mannequin, are you placing basically the palm of the hand like on the navel?
Yes.
To keep the arm in the mid-axillary line, or is it drawing more?
No, it would be, here, I'm going to move the camera a little bit and so you can, right, so you take the arm, hand down, like this, straight across. So it's still midline normal placement. You're just putting the hand across the stomach, basically, across the abdomen to keep those tendons and everything out of the way.
Great, thank you.
All right, so I'm going to, if I can get my mouse to work. Do what?
On the black lines on the needle?
Yes.
How far above the skin of that last one is acceptable?
My understanding, per what the Easy IO, okay, as long as you have any of the line, as long as you can see the line, then it's supposed to be good. That's from the official IO, the Easy IO people. So as long as you can see that line. But if you think about it, even if you've got just that, that's still that much needle. No, let me see if you can see it. Okay. Can you see that line that's right above the hub there? Somebody said no. It's right above my finger, right? I mean, it's like